Good afternoon from InvestSharp. This is Randy Smotone with your Tuesday, January the 26th market update. On the economic front, the monthly S&P Case-Shiller showed mixed home price data across the country with just slight improvement. Consumer confidence showed improvement at 55.9 compared to 53.6 in December. On deck for tomorrow, we'll get the FOMC announcement, U.S. new home sales, the weekly petroleum status report, and tomorrow night we'll have President Obama's State of the Union address. Earnings I won't really cover. There's just way too many earnings out right now. Overall, the earnings are looking pretty good though. I think we're doing okay on earnings. I just think that the political environment is weighing on the market. The dollar, gold were both up today. Silver, copper, and oil were all down. Looking at the UUP, we're still stuck over this $23.20 resistance area. We have tons of volume, man. It's really trying. So we'll see what happens here if we finally break higher, or if the dollar continues and just pulls back, because it's just, it's tried and tried and tried. So it's going to be a huge move in the dollar up. Probably as much resistance as we've had here. So watch that. Light sweet crude futures were down 55 cents to settle at $74.71. Look at the West Texas Intermediate crude. Been watching it. Looks like we're probably going to come out. It's been really weak, so it looks like we're probably going to come down at least to this bullish trend line here around the 72 or so area. Again, to go on a sell signal, we'd have to print 69. Let's take a look at the Dow. Dow closed down 2 points to 10,194. S&P closed down 4 points to 1,092. Nasdaq closed down 7 points to 2,203, and the Russell closed down almost 6 points to 612. The Dow held up the best, down only 0.03%. The Russell was the weakest for the second day in a row, down 0.96%. So they're definitely going to more of the big cap defensive type stocks. That's why the Dow's been holding up the best, and they're moving away from the risky small caps out of the Russell. Let's see. Let's go look at the McClellan again today. We're still very oversold. Can't seem to get away from that area. Once we get down in this, 80 or below, we're very oversold. When we get up here and here at 80 or higher, or minus 80 or minus 100, that's oversold, and 80 to 100 is overbought. So we're definitely still near this oversold area. Can't seem to get away from it. Looking at the Dow, it's trying to stop here. It's trying to hold up. MACD is still way over. Like I said, it's way oversold, way down. S&P's trying to hold this 1,090. We'll have to see if it does it. We've already had a 5% pullback around this level, so the 60 minutes really not showing me anything. Again, we just continue to track here. It was definitely kind of a weak close today, which isn't good. Let's take a look at gold. Gold still holding up, kind of tracking sideways. Silver was really weak. At some point, I expect silver to stop and return its uptrend, but not yet. VIX was way down here near 23, and of course, as we started selling off later in the day, it pulled back up. So VIX was still down 3%, but there definitely some put buying. It is getting in, it's got this overbought level here where we typically around this 3 or so, the VIX usually goes lower and the market goes up. So we'll see if that happens. So I've been talking about the intraday volatility continues, which makes it great for the day traders, not so good for swing traders or investors. I think the best thing to do right now, capital preservation still remains the #1 priority. This late day sell off today is very bearish. I don't know if we're gonna go much lower or not, but we definitely can. Like I talked about, the politics in Washington is still keeping the market on edge. Now they're talking about Geithner, and we got the AIG thing tomorrow, and they think, well, after he testifies, he's probably gone, and that's market doesn't like all this, and drama. Let's look at the sectors. 9 of 16 sectors we've all finished in the green today. Retail index was up the most at 0.57%. The bank index was the weakest, down 2.2%. Financials were definitely weak today. If you look at GS should hold. It's got kind of a longer term on the 5-year. Possibly could hold around this 150 level. Well, I don't know that for a fact, but it looks like should have some support somewhere around this level. So you might want to watch that on Goldman Sachs. The PE on Goldman Sachs right now is pretty cheap. It's just amazing that it's down this low. Let's look at some of the same ones we've been watching. I talked about this RRC short. You know, at 50 or lower, it's looking good. Talked about IBN out of the symmetrical triangle. It's actually broken down out of it with volume. You could short IBN here. Amgen still in its little triangle, still looks good. So watch for a break out of the triangle to the upside or break down out of it. Triangles can go either direction. Fleur Systems still holding around that $30.50 level. Novice Maritime, there was definitely pulled back quite a bit today, but there was no volume in this pullback, so still looks all right. Belo broke higher today with volumes, looking good for possibly higher prices if the market even can turn. Genworth Financial tried to break out today, pulled back, had good volume, so watch it above today's high of 1378. McDonald's looking good, buying it today, had good volume. Watch it for breakout at 64. ELGX, this little medical supply stock, I don't know, they seem to want to sell it back down a little bit today. It's got a little bit of trend line support there though, so it was down almost 7% on the day. I'm not sure what it's doing. It had all this volume here at this trend line, and then all of a sudden it, you know, like I said, it didn't have a lot of volume on the sell-off, so not sure what's going on with that one right now. I think the market's just nervous about any of the small caps. AIZ still in this channel. Watch it for a breakout or a breakdown out of it. Retail stock Joanne Stores looks good today. Had good volume. DEX holding its 100, so watch it there. And City Trend still holding its $31 mark. I talked about the ES futures. You know, we were watching that 1086 level. It took it out in overnight trading, but during the day today, it's held at 1086. So continue to watch that on the S&P 500 futures. We're actually came back down to it again today. So if that breaks, we're probably going to go, you know, lower. I don't know how much lower, but you continue to watch that. Let's go to the current market signals. There's really no change. We're still sell signal the Dow, sell signal on the NASDAQ. This is all the point and figure charts, and we're still on a buy on the S&P. The NASDAQ was weak enough today to actually change the price objective from 2090 to 2070. So be careful out there. Don't do much trading in this environment. There's really no need. It's pretty nasty. That's it for today. Thanks for joining me, and remember to always invest.